Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on The Last Haven. On this series, we're actually going to call it like a beginner playthrough or beginner tutorial because we did already do our first look videos. It didn't go so well, so we did learn a lot of stuff, and we're going to talk about some of that on today's video. But if you notice, they did actually do an update as well. So on new game, when you choose here, there's a lot of options that you can choose. And because we're going to be doing this one as a beginner video, we're going to put all the positive stuff on high and all the negative stuff on low. So for soldiers, resources, and loot, we're going to boost all that to high. And for the bad stuff, right, zombies, marauders, enemy armies, we're going to set all that to low. And then just choose new game, and we'll be able to hop into a new one. So what we'll see on this one, which is different than the last, is that you have a lot more soldiers, right? So if we actually zoom out, well, I say that, we have at least 4, which is more than we had last time. Actually, make that 5. There's 5. Yeah, so there is more soldiers. And then it does walk you through building some things. So the first thing that I want to really talk about on this one is be specific and be intentional on what you build, right? Because what you'll notice is as zombies start coming in, if you don't have a factory built to where you can make ammo, you're going to run out of ammo, they're going to kill you, and then you're going to die, right? So you don't need to focus on some of the other building trees. So like when we go to research, which I'll show you in a minute, you don't need to focus on some of that stuff till later on in the game. So make sure we're being intentional on what we want to build. So I'm going to build the warehouse here. If you notice, it takes you straight next to your next building, which is sawmill. So now, because we built the warehouse, it opened up all of these. So sawmill needs to go next to trees. We're going to put that up high next to all these trees. Next is the laboratory. Again, that's what I want to build quick because this is research. So one of the things that I've found in this game is it is somewhat slow because you spend most of your time just sitting and waiting on things to research, right? Because that's what has to happen to unlock other items and to allow you to survive a little bit longer. So we're going to go ahead and do the laboratory, get that started. The other thing is what you'll notice is down here on all these things, there's items on the ground, okay? So like this one, for example, is ammo. The downside to this is even though there's these items all over the map, and I do think they spawn in at random times is what it seems, you have to actually go to it and click on it with your actual mouse to get it to be picked up. You can't send people out like searching for them like gatherers. You can't have them automatically be picked up as people walk over them like if they pass by. You have to purposefully go in and click on the item, and then it adds it to your inventory in the warehouse, and then you can move forward. So as you explore, right? So if we take some of our soldiers and we begin exploring some of this map to where we can find other things out here, it gives you the option, like once you see it, you can click on it. So you don't have to have anybody in the area when it's there. But it does require you to kind of go around and scan to look for something. So if you notice here, here's a P90. So I now have to go here and click on it, and now it's added that gun to my inventory. So that's, you know, some people might like it that way. I would rather have people that could go out and like run around the whole map and kind of scour for resources. I do think that would be a little bit better. Our other stuff is still being built. We can go ahead. The construction's happening here on all of that. Actually, nothing is done yet. We can go ahead and build a greenhouse because we are going to need food for sure. Greenhouses are super important, I've found. So I'm actually going to build, I really want 3, but I'm going to put 2 there. Let's see if we can afford a 3rd. Can. So I have my 3 greenhouses coming up because food is also very important. On this tutorial, you'll want to make sure you build some of these necessities quick. And once that research icon opens up here in a moment, I'll show you kind of the tree and what I believe to be more important through this. But food is very important. Now, one thing to note, these greenhouses, if you notice here on greenhouse 1, it will only produce food down to 0 degrees Celsius. So this is kind of what I was talking about on where you have to make sure you do things timely or else it almost becomes unplayable. Because if you notice here, we start out at only 15 degrees Celsius. And as you progress through the days, it actually drops. So once it gets to 0, you have to be building greenhouse 2, which will work to -20, or else you won't be able to produce food. So if we go look at the laboratory or click research down here at the bottom, if you notice greenhouse 2 is down here, okay? So to unlock the ability to build a greenhouse 2, we have to have unlocked science, Then we have to have done artificial food, and then we have to research this. So if you notice, 72 hours, that's 3 days, plus artificial food, that's 2 more days, plus this up here. So it takes 6 days just in this single line, 6 days of time up here. You see, we're on day 1. It takes 6 days just to get to greenhouse 2. And that doesn't even cover all the other stuff, right? As I mentioned, you want to be able to have ammo and guns and stuff if you want gas masks, medicine so that you can build the hospital. So if your people either get too cold or get too hungry or get attacked by the zombies, you need a hospital. So all of these different trees, you can only do one thing at a time, and you need to be specific about which ones you choose, or if you do like I did on the first look series, like I went over here for politics because I wanted to see the map so that I could explore and go to other areas. Well, that took 48 hours plus 24, so we had already wasted 3 days worth of time over here on something we really weren't going to use. And same way down here. So barracks is all the way down below, down to here, which is 72 hours just for the barracks, plus all these. So another 72, another 48, and the 24 up top. You have to get all the way down here to actually be able to train soldiers. So if you notice, we started with the 5 because we started with a high soldier count. So if you want more, you have to have already gotten all the way down here to barracks 1. So it is important on which way you go. Same way over on this series for heating. You have to have construction and then heating, and then be able, to build houses better than just the shacks. Because if we go back to building, we can build a shack now, but this only works for 5 people. And it, again, temperature limit is down to 0. If you look at the house 1, its temperature limit is -30. So if we go ahead and build these, it will actually last us longer. Now, the other things that I haven't built yet, I've built a warehouse, I built the sawmill, a few greenhouses. I need to build a resource station and a stone crusher. So I actually want to, there's a lot of stuff here. So this is probably a good place to build. I'm going to build my first resource station. And this is the other thing, guys. Like, it has to be in a place that's green, which is also somewhat of a pain. I did a little bit out of order. You see, it's just now telling me to do laboratory 1. We've already built that and talked about it because the laboratory is so important. So build that as quick as you can. But down here, the resource station, if you notice, wherever you place these resource stations, it's in the area that it will harvest available resources. So if you put it out by itself, there's nothing near it. It won't be able to have that many options for what it can actually harvest. So the more stuff you're near, the better stuff you can find. Let's see what they're asking. You have armed people in the settlement. You can manage them directly. Control 1. Hey, it looks like there's actually somebody there. Let's go look here. Yeah, maybe it's just a new soldier. If you notice here, there's polymers. So just like I mentioned earlier, you have to actually click on it to get it to add to your inventory. But if you find all these items, you can actually go around and pull them in. Or maybe I left that guy behind, honestly. Where'd he go? There you are, buddy. Come over here. We'll send him up top. Yeah, because I think I had 5 and I only have 4 right here. So I'm going to send this guy on up. We'll probably find something. Yep, see here? If I mouse over that house, you see polymers again. So I can click on that and add more polymers to my stash. I found a lot of the items are inside these little houses. Same up here. There might be some stuff since we've already found it. Maybe not. Wait, there was something. See, here's part of the problem. You have to like get right on the right spot to find it. Oh, there we go. Fuel. And I want to say there was something else. Yep. A gun. Okay. Anything else? Maybe not. We'll keep looking. Because here's another building. So we can build another like resource station. A gathering station up here for more of this stuff. There's another gun. What do we have up here? I wish they were like highlighted better or something. Food. There we go. Okay, research is complete. I'm actually going to build, let's go ahead for the factory. Because, again, these things take time, so the factory's another day, another 24 hours to be able to unlock ammo. And once you unlock the ability to craft a factory, then you have to actually go build the factory. That's the other thing. And if you notice here, I am going to need stone. So right above the list of all the squares, you'll see the requirements for that building. So this takes 65 wood, 40 metal, 20 polymers, and 80 stone. So I do need to make a stone crusher, but I need this to be near some stone. So there is stone all kind of in this area. If you see it lighting up when I place near it, we're actually going to put this stone crusher right there. I don't have any people available for that though. There's only 2 people down at that resource station. Let's see what this gives. We need the option for more settlers. Sometimes it will pop up and do that. I don't want to... Ooh, here we go. It's going to give us more stability. I'm just going to let go. That way it won't hurt us, because my stability is full right now because we haven't done anything that needed additional stability.
I'm ready.
Yeah, there's more polymers. Did we lose another guy? Or was he one of our soldiers? Because now we only have 3. Where's this guy? Did we lose all those guys? I know we had more soldiers somewhere. Oh well, we might only be down to 3 soldiers, guys. Those others might have left, honestly. The construction here is down, so let's actually knock one of these down to add to that construction, because we are going to need stone. Food now is actually really high, so I'm going to pull a couple people off these greenhouses to also boost this and to boost down here at this resource station. So if you notice when you click on the resource station, it gives some options for what is it that you want them gathering. Based on where the resource station is placed is what it will show are your options to gather from the list. So I actually am thinking I will choose, what do we have? We have 122 metal. Let's choose coal for now. That way it will have that coal ready for when we need it, because the factories run on coal, the houses run on coal, and things of that nature. Perfect. These are going to pop up throughout the game also, accepting refugees. So you can take on new people. I think it typically gives about 3 additional people each time. But once you do this, it does reduce your stability by 5 points each time. So you'll notice your stability bar will start to go down, and there are things in the game that will help boost stability as well when needed. So if you notice down here, I actually got about 5 people probably. So I boosted the resource station, and now I'm going to come back up here at my greenhouses, max these folks out, because this shows how many people are unemployed. I still have 2, so I'm going to come here and boost that to 4. Yeah, so that guy left. I actually think we really are just down to 3 people, which is not very good right now, but it's what we're going to have to deal with until we can make a barracks. If you see there, I found more polymers, so I selected those. I'll build another one of the little resource stations up here in a moment. We have 4 hours left on the factory, so that's moving right along. And then I don't know what we'll do next, honestly. We'll decide that once that one's done. So we're going to keep scouting around with these soldiers that we have, trying to find more stuff. There was something lit up. There it is. Another gun. Cool.
Let's move.
So like if you notice here, there's more resources, so we can place another resource gatherer here, and it's going to be able to get metal and wood and such. There should be something near this one. All right, the research is done for the factory. Let's actually go ahead and just do constructing as well. We will need that. But we should be able to build the factory now once we get more stone. So that's getting close. One other thing to note as far as food. Food is very important, and of course it only makes sense, but the more people you add to your colony, right? The more people, the more settlers you bring into the fold, the more you can do. You can actually do more with it, but the more food they are going to consume. So if you notice right now, like I'm at 100 plus food because I only have 29 people, and I went ahead and built the 3 greenhouses. I just saw ammo somewhere. I'm gonna try and zoom in. There we go. 62 ammo, that's awesome. But so I have a good amount of food now, but as I keep adding people to the fold, my food will start to go down even faster. More ammo, awesome.
Yes, sir.
There was something else right here, I think. Oh, that's the coal guy. I was like, what is that sound? Wood? I could have swore there was something else that lit up when I moused over here. Maybe not. Okay. We've almost made like a full circle of at least the important parts. I mean, there's a few more things up in that area, but I actually think that's probably the most important stuff. We might as well go ahead and search it out. Where'd my guys go?
Ready.
I think you can do Control 1. Yep. And it will assign these to a group. I do only have the 3 left, which is pretty sad.
Wait. I'm ready.
Okay. Everything else is coming quite along. The stone crusher is built. They're collecting stone. I need more people there, though. And food. See, food just went down by 14 because it consumed it. So we still have a good base. Wood is actually good right now. I'm going to take one of those, put that over in the stone. Nothing else to really capture here yet either.
Ready.
So let's keep these guys going. More than likely, we're going to come across zombies or something soon. I did, with this being like the early one, I put it on low, so it could be slower to start into the zombies. I'm going to ignore it. We're pretty good on food right now.
Ready.
Let's see, anything else. But, so they might come slower than they did the last time. But I had zombies and marauders and stuff pretty rapidly, to the point that I was not recuperating from it. And the mistake that I made on the last playthrough is I didn't make anything to build additional ammo. I never made the factory. I was focused on the housing. I was focused on the food, the hospital, stuff like that, which again is very important. But it's kind of like you just need an order of operations of what goes first, because you want to make sure that you're ready for when these things happen. Otherwise, you'll end up dying and needing to start over, kind of like we did in that last series. So it is getting dark. It's day 3. We have gone down to 14 degrees Celsius, and the radiation level is not too high. You'll notice when it rains, the radiation level kind of boosts. But again, that's fine for now. We need more people to show up, though, so we can build more resource stations. Our food is doing well. Nothing. There's wood. Okay. Nothing really else to grab. Is our stone up yet? No, we're only at 58 stone. So I'm actually going to pull one more person off this food to boost our stone for now, because we really want to get that over with so that we can go ahead and build a factory at least. But again, remember, the factory is going to run on coal. So we will have to have coal to keep that sucker running. And now constructing 1 is complete. So we can do this so that way we could start making ammo. 48 hours, 48 hours. Let's actually do this. What is this? Scientific knowledge required for efficient tree mining increases tree production from all sources by 20%. I'm not hurting for trees right now. I do know later on, I think it's one of these other factories that you can make, here it is, coal production. So from wood, it's down here, but from wood, you can make coal, or you can produce coal from wood, however you want to say that. So if you can't find coal, and keep in mind all these things run on coal, right? These houses, if you notice here, it will run on coal. The factory that we just made will run on coal as well. So that is something we will definitely have to have. So I haven't made it to that far into the round yet, into the game, but it could be something we want to transition into. So I'm going to send our soldiers back down here. This is probably the area where we will build our houses once it comes time for that, once we've unlocked them. Our stone is at 64. We're getting close. We might build the factory, I don't know, like maybe right in here between our sawmill and our laboratory. We're at 45 hours on that one. Everything else is kind of moving. We're just waiting. Hey, there was another soldier. Did I leave that guy behind? We're back up to 4 at least. That's a good sign. Oh, there was 2 of them. They're both there. We do have our 5 soldiers, so I didn't actually lose a soldier. I don't know how they got stuck in the warehouse, unless they converted over. So now that the rain is coming in, watch our actual radiation. You'll notice it spikes. So sometimes as this goes on and the radiation goes higher, your people will become diseased or sick. So that is another reason that you would have to have the hospital to make sure that everybody's better. All right. Now we wait. There's some wood. I'm going to grab that. So what I do when I'm waiting, I do just kind of mouse around the map, looking through these houses, seeing if anything new has spawned in or if I've missed anything. You'll see my mouse kind of running around erratically type of thing, though, because it really does just kind of light up when you touch it before you click on it. That's how I know something is there. It kind of pops up its little name icon for it. See, like that. So there's some polymers. So I'll click on that one. All right. How many people? So we have our 5 soldiers. That's good. Our ammo's coming soon. So you can, down in the bottom, you can actually go 2 times speed or 3 times speed. So I'm going to move this to 3 times speed so we can boost through that, get this rain over with. Hopefully more soldiers, or not, excuse me, soldiers, but survivors will spawn in here soon, and we can take them in. Our stability is still full. Like, we have a ton of people that we could accept in. We have space for them. We just need them to show up, you know. One of our residents clearly very upset about something, so I can issue food or ignore. It's only 1 stability, and I have plenty now, so I'm actually just going to ignore that. I don't know if it's going to turn into something. I've heard supposedly in this game you can do riots and other things. But yeah, so we'll see. Okay, well, I think this was a good start. We actually are pretty settled in. As far as for the beginner tutorial, hopefully this gave you a basis of how to get your base started and your map started through. We did focus on the most important things. Whenever it stops with one of those prompts, just know it does put you back to 1 time speed. So if you want to speed it up again, you will need to move it to 3 times. But we are researching some ammo and stuff so that way we can build that for when the bad people show up. And then we're probably going to flip and focus to medicine and hospital, and then on to the heating and food. And then lastly, our soldier stuff, because we don't really need more soldiers yet because we do have 5. In the grand scheme of things, creating more soldiers is probably after having enough ammo to keep our soldiers with guns, and then food and shelter for the rest of our citizens. So we'll do that next. We hope you've enjoyed this video. I appreciate you sticking around till the end. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button so you'll be around for any next content we have coming up. We're going to keep this series going a little bit longer to kind of show what happens next with zombies, with marauders, things like that, hopefully. And I hope to survive longer than we did on the first playthrough series. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on the next video, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day, guys.